Hello everybody. This is Akijita with Unicorn Riot. It's currently 3 degrees outside, I think, last time I checked. But we are at the Roof Depot site in Southside Minneapolis, right next to Little Earth housing projects. Right now they're erecting teepees. They just had a pipe ceremony. They have a sacred fire going. All kinds of supplies are being brought in to occupy the space. The reason they are occupying the space is there is an arsenic plume underneath this Roof Depot site, and the city would like to demolish the site, but doing so will kick up this arsenic plume. So I think we're gonna find some peeps to interview.
Okay, when is it gonna be, Okay, then, is that gonna be,
Well, I lost track of the person I had in mind to interview. Maybe they'll pop up somewhere. But this is new. I haven't glanced over here yet. They have a multitude of tents up and ready.
If I can think on it for a minute, I'll consider doing that.
Alright, that person's gonna think of something to say.
I know, huh? I was like, woo.
Alright, we got CJ here. He was at the last rally.
I am CJ. What's up?
So, go ahead and introduce yourself and tell us why you're here.
I'm CJ. I work with the Climate Justice Committee. I organize with them. And I'm here in support of our Indigenous relatives moving in on the depot site. This is definitely a bigger step in the struggle than we've seen so far. You know, you might have seen me last at like city council, street rallies and whatnot, but something like this has kind of always been on the table beneath the table. You know, a lot of reporters will like ask me like, hey, what's the plan? What are you guys gonna do? And I'm like, I'm not gonna tell you that. But now we can finally talk about it. And this is something that the indigenous community, especially Little Earth, has really taken the lead on. A lot of people plan to do a lot of different things to defend the depot site, and now a lot of us are kind of pivoting and being like, yes, this. We are supporting and defending this. So it's a really exciting time in the struggle. A lot of different things could happen, but we're gonna make this work. So yeah, anything else I should say?
Why do you think it's important to occupy the space and demolition?
So the most practical reason is that this keeps equipment from being moved in, because behind us is the greenway. Behind this building is the greenway, where there isn't a lot of level ground, and there isn't much that can be done back there, we think. Most practically speaking, it makes the most sense for them to move in equipment through here. That's not getting into any of the historical or spiritual reasons to occupy the site, but this is the bare bones practical reason is preventing demolition, and we're gonna keep it up as long as we can until we can get city council to fuck off and call a revote, basically, is part of the idea. But failing that, we're just gonna prevent demo ourselves, you know? Like, we tried every nice way. We tried the electoral way, we tried making nice to city council members, we tried pressuring them, we tried every legal tactic, we tried the legal system, we did fucking everything. We did it all right, supposedly, and we kind of always knew this would happen. Like, we've been planning to do something big at the site, and for a long time, because we kind of knew those options would fall through. So it's always kind of been full steam ahead to this moment, and we're moving in early because we didn't want to wait. We wanted to take initiative, and we wanted to support our indigenous relatives doing the shit, you know?
Appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks, man.
All right, that was CJ. Talking about this as a means to motivate the city council to F off, in his words.
Really? I can't. We need
In-
to put out
in the call?
a thing. Hey. Oh, everybody knows why I'm here. I guess, you know, one thing I really want to share with people, the reasons why I did this is, you want me to take that? Okay. You know, I live in Little Earth. I'm a grandmother, I'm a mother, you know, and I really care about my community. And I stood up that first time I went into city council, and I went and talked to every city council member and told them my story. I told them my community story. I mean, one of my best friends has a heart condition, and she is barely, you know, healing there. My neighbor, she has really bad asthma. My neighbor, another neighbor, like, her kids, she can't even come out to events like this, even with her kids, because they struggle with their asthma, you know. And I said, I need to stand up. So I went to that city council meeting, and I spoke to all them city council Koski. She shooed me away. I mean, literally shooed me away and said, I have to get on my laptop. Vita, she snapped her eyes, I don't know how many times, at me, and said, well, where are all of, you know, the people, whatnot? Well, what, don't I count? You know, people work. They don't take that into consideration when they make those meetings at, you know, 9:30 a.m. I had to take time off of my job to go to things like that. Rainville, he was so rude that he didn't even give the time of day to look in my eyes and listen to my story, like as if my story of 30 seconds didn't count. He just didn't even take the time to look at me. Goodman was another one. She didn't even take the time. I gotta say that, you know what? Jenkins did not vote in our favor, but at least she had the time to look at me like I was a total idiot. And she took the time to look at me, but looked at me like I annoyed her and that I was just a total idiot and didn't have time for it, but did stare at me like this and said, okay, you know, I remember that. And I said that day I was not going to go back. I said, you know what, I might as well leave. I might as well not come back because my voice isn't heard. But I left there and I said, you know what, all the more. So that day when I said I wasn't coming back, guess what? I'm right here. And I'm not alone. You know, I am not alone. This grandmother that cares for her grandkid, her community, and my kids, I'm not alone anymore. I'm here in the fight. I joined the fight with my neighbors, and I appreciate them so much. I appreciate everybody that has come out here to fight for our people. We can't stand any more pollution. You know, our kids are sick, our elders are sick, and we can't do this. We're going to fight. We're going to fight. So I hope you're seeing this, Mayor Frey. I'm not alone. That grandmother that you didn't take 2 seconds to even stop and listen to, or the emails that I sent City Council, and you guys, only person that did answer me was Jason Chavez. Out of all of the City Council members and Mayor Frey, Jason was the only one that answered me. Nobody could even say thank you for your inquiry or appreciate anything that I sent. We don't matter to them. Don't let them pretend like they care. Don't feed into that. We can't compromise our kid for money anymore or our community for money. We need to stand down. They've been doing this to us for too many years. Too many hundreds and hundreds of years that the government has taken things from us and done things to our people. If we stand by, or we stand by and we don't stand with this, and we don't come together strong, we are yet going to be inflicting another trauma on our children, another health trauma that parents and children. So what good is that money anyways? It's just money. We can't switch up that money for our children's health. We really need to stand down on this and come together as Indigenous people. You know, what's good is that money if later our kids or ourselves are sick? What are you going to do with that money that you're going to be using for programming and whatnot in these communities if our people are sick? Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you for being here too. I appreciate you guys, like everything you do for us, following this and getting it out. Really much appreciated. Like, seriously.
Yeah, I've been following it for years.
I know, and I seen that, and I really, really appreciate it.
Of course.
Thank you.
Made their payments to the Dakota nations that signed those treaties. And so
I see a couple people I can give an interview to, but that was Nicole Perez. She was present at the Roof Depot hearing and was quite impassioned about the whole ordeal, and for good reason. She lives like a block away from the site, so.
for our people, for our children, for the site, this Roof Depot site is where pesticides.
So we're all closed off here. They got the American Indian movement present.
Here underneath this warehouse, and the city of Minneapolis wants to demolish this warehouse and turn this into
Which we're probably gonna speak to next.
Over 800 big city diesel trucks. The Little Earth United Tribe is just 2 blocks this way, and the community does not want this here. We've exhausted every option through city council, through votes. The mayor vetoed one of the votes that passed.
Well, if you're just tuning in, this is Akichita with Unicorn Riot here at the East Phillips Roof Depot occupation. The American Indian movement and various community leaders and community members are occupying this site. Due to the pollution and arsenic that has accumulated in this building, underneath this building is arsenic plume, and the residents are afraid that this will cause even more respiratory issues such as asthma, bronchitis, etc. Nicole Perez, she just spoke a few minutes ago about her talking with Mayor Fry, getting him to realize, what the community wants, and to try and convince the city council to not demolish the site. So. All right, we got Rachel next.
Tanse, Granaskamot, Nanaskamot, Napsis, Nanahioa, Kapsis, Rachel Thunder. Hello and thank you. My name is Rachel Thunder. I'm Plains Cree Nihio Nihiowak Treaty 8, and we're here at the Roof Depot site in South Minneapolis. This land that we're standing on here is unceded, stolen treaty land. There were 3 treaties signed back in the early 1800s with the Dakota people under Fort Snelling. And this land is included in that, and those treaties were never honored by the United States government. Payment was never sent or received to the Dakota Nation. So all of this land that we're here in Minneapolis is all stolen native land. So we're here as the indigenous people here of South Minneapolis leading this resistance and this occupation. So the occupation officially began today, February the 21st. We had a sunrise ceremony. We lit the spirit fire, filled our pipes, sang songs to do this in a good way, to ground all of this through prayer and ceremony, because that's what this is. This is a prayer and this is a ceremony for our people, for our children, for our grandchildren, and for our earth, for the Mother Earth. So this site, the Roof Depot site, was the place of a pesticide plant for over 30 years. It closed back in the 80s. And this site is part of what's called the arsenic triangle here in South Minneapolis. There's ridiculous levels of arsenic in the soil and in the water underneath this warehouse. The city of Minneapolis had plans to start demolishing this warehouse on February the 27th in order to build a truck depot for over 800 city diesel trucks that our elders and our grandmothers and our mothers don't want here in our community. The Little Earth United Tribes is just 2 blocks that way. So when they, you know, if they, in their original plans to demolish this building, this warehouse, all of that dust and all of that arsenic and all of those poisons were going to be re-released and just, you know, released here into South Minneapolis. There's a lot of people I've spoken to that were growing up. They know that this arsenic is here. They used to come in and do soil remediation in the yards. They would come and dig up all the soil and take it out and put new soil in. Like, they know that this is here. And there was another site that they were looking at to put this truck depot for their city trucks, and they ended up selling that site to developers for money. And it was a wealthier neighborhood, and then they decided that they were going to put it here. And this is just urban environmental racism. And enough is enough. We're not going to let this continue to happen to our people and to our communities. And it's not only that to stop demolition, it's also to say, we have a plan. We have a plan for this site. We're asking the city of Minneapolis to give us access to buy this site that we would have funding through legislation, to turn this entire warehouse into an indoor aquaponics system, that we can have clean, affordable food for our people and for our communities to start living in a healthier way. There would be a full solar array that would bring jobs to our community. And we also want to address our unhoused relatives that are living here on stolen land, that are being evicted from camps in the middle of winter. You know, no one was homeless on Turtle Island before 1492. And so we want, you know, this is 7 acres here. There's a lot of talk of, you know, having a tiny home village for our unhoused relatives here, having this ground in culture and community, having those resources for our people. And we're asking the city of Minneapolis, who are supposed to work for the people, to stop working for the developers and for money.
Anything else important you think people should know?
I would say try to get the word out there as much as possible about this occupation. Send us your prayers. If you want to come and stop by and offer tobacco into our spirit fire, we're at 27th and Longfellow here in South Minneapolis. And if you want to donate any resources or anything like that, feel free to stop by and drop them off at the main gate at 27th and Longfellow. If you want to donate any kind of funding or anything like that, that would be through EPNI. There's a GoFundMe, that's EPNI. And I just want to thank everybody for watching, and just continue to watch and share this. You know, share as much about this as you can. We want to bring as much attention to this as possible.
All right, that was Rachel Thunder. She's a co-director, or director of the AIM chapter. The AIM chapter escapes my mind at the moment, but people are still occupying, despite the 1 degree, 2 degree weather. Let's see if I can spot anybody else that I know.
Are you done? You're not recording?
Remediate soil.
I just need something not recorded for a minute. Can I see this? Right here.
start making signs.
Yeah, this whole fence needs. I'd like tarps and signs.
You got your pen and paper, no face.
I'd like.
Guys, this is Minneapolis reunited here. The OG.
I'd like. It would be kind of cool to have like letters that say like like something. You know what I mean? Like you know those letters.
Where are those red? Where are those pamphlets that we?
Well, if you're just tuning in, this is Akichita with Unicorn Riot. We're at the East Phillips Roof Depot site. People are occupying, erecting tents. We got one erected tent, one erected teepee, excuse me, and then multiple erected tents over on the other side.
Hey, anybody need trailers? Hey.
We made something happen with our society.
Hey, we want to donate you this trailer over here. We want to donate you that trailer over there. Just hook it up to your truck when this is all.
Yeah, the exhaust is already bad, so that means stand right. Like, it's just. Welcome. It's my 2 cents. Oh, yeah, that's. She was really informative. Where'd she go? How's it going? Good to see you. Working for NDN now? No. Oh, just holding, helping out? Oh, Unicorn. Oh, hey, oh. I suppose, yeah. Nice. In a minute. I just gave one. Yeah. Yeah, I gotta get energized again. Now I'm all lazy. But did you get Cassie? Cassie would be the one I'd interview first. She's been working on this for 10 years.
She's wearing a kind of phone?
She was standing right here in the gray hoodie. Cassie.
We're gonna run over and grab some more clothes in his bathroom real quick.
I'm trying to look for Cassie.
Yeah, what happened? Oh, are you live?
Yeah.
Oh, shoot.
Let's see if we can find Cassie anywhere.
I got a little buddy heater in the car. My buddy I got these. Because I mean, I'll go get it fixed, but I just
She said she had to leave for a little bit, and then she was coming back.
Cassie left, and she'll be back at some point. Looks like we got 3 fires going. A sacred fire next to the gate. Another fire next to the teepee. A 3rd fire by the erected tents.
Yeah, that would not be good for you.
Maybe tomorrow.
Yeah, we got about 14 erected tents as far as I can see. But we have a couple stories up on our website, unicornriot.ninja. The arsenic plume article, and the most recent one that has footage of a live stream of the last rally that they had on the Roof Depot site. So, for more information, you can check those out. Let me see if I can grab one more interview. I think we've seen as much as we could see.
Things are going good. We could move the tent and move it back, so we're able to get that at some point. Hey, what's up?
You know what that is at?
Colton Schmidt.
Schmidt.
He was here, but I think he took off. I can text him. Cool.
Try to see if Daniel Schmidt was here. He's pretty informative on the history of the environmental racism and pollution that went on in Minneapolis from like 1910s to 1930s to the 1960s until present. Short synopsis on the whole thing.
What's that? Oh, good. Oh, you want to... It should be Cassie who speaks first. Cassie knows, like, everything. But I guess, like, if you're live and just looking for something to fill space, yeah, sure. Oh.
Go ahead and introduce yourself and tell us why you're here.
Hello, my name is Rory Wake 'em Up. I'm here to support folks to protest the demolition of the Roof Depot here. The demolition of this spot, well, see now I'm gonna jump through all that. I had it succinct before, but anyway, so we're in the green zones, the city green zones, and the city's invested money to get ideas and opinions from community on how to make this area specifically a green zone. And this used to be a spot for, they produced fertilizer to ship out on trains, and there was lots of arsenic that contaminated the whole area. And the MPCA did remediate soil in this, I guess, brown zone. But still, when we went to do a community project to do like gardening in your backyard and whatnot, we learned that, you know, they only remediated certain level, like 3 to 6 inches, so you can play on the soil without getting toxified. But as far as growing food in it, it's long story short, not possible. Like you don't want to still don't really want to eat anything out of the soil. You'll still want to do raised bed gardens. And that's how I started finding out about the Roof Depot site and how folks were proposing ideas to make this an incubator space for green projects and farmers market, you know, stuff like that, and also generate economy in this neighborhood because it's not only impoverished, but we're in a healthy food desert right here. So for the folks to ignore, so the idea they proposed, they spent a lot of time and even city's money, I believe, to get ideas for this space in the neighborhood. They're basically ignoring it to tear this down and put up like a diesel parking lot. And diesel just adds more smog. So over there's Hiawatha, 55. There's Cedar there, that's crazy traffic. And then Lake Street just on the other side of those buildings and the cemetery there. Then 94 over there. So we're already having health issues with our kids, like asthma and heart disease, just being in this smog every day. So to add a diesel parking lot, and if you know diesels, they just sit and let them run and idle, especially in the winter to keep them warm. So it's just going to add more smog. It's like totally the opposite of a green zone plan. So to ignore the community's idea to turn this into a green space incubator and turn it into a diesel parking lot for thousands or hundreds, I don't know how many, at least, hundreds if not thousands of trucks, and a lot of them are just going to be an idle. Adding more smog is just the opposite of, they're wasting their own money on research, and then it's just going to add more crap to the neighborhood rather than reducing traffic on these roads and diverting traffic away to reduce, they're adding, so it's just doesn't make sense, and the last I heard, and Cassie would know better, that they didn't even do an environmental impact study on what digging up all this arsenic would do on this scale. But I would definitely talk with Cassie because I've kind of been out of the loop because I was working with green zones pre-COVID, and then now since last 2-3 years I'm out of the loop, and I just found out like a week or so ago that they actually passed signed off to start the demolition and whatnot here, and they're trying to do it in the winter. So apparently there's not as much arsenic's going to go in the air in the winter because the ground's frozen. Doesn't really make sense to me either. I mean, arsenic's arsenic and dirt's dirt. I mean, it can get dusty in the winter too. But anyway, Cassie can fill in a lot more information because Cassie actually helped put together with one of the representatives here that retired. They put together like a really thorough plan, and I watched their presentation with flip charts and stuff. If you guys can get a handle on the flip charts, and they also have like the areas of dense like asthma and heart disease with folks, and this is one of them. There's another area in North Minneapolis as well. So if you add that to this video for content or on the website or whatever, get that info from Cassie, and you'll get a much broader perspective of how crappy digging this up and turning it into a diesel parking lot is. But anyway, thanks for listening.
Yeah, very good. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, that was Rory Wake 'em Up. He was the artistic director, I believe, at NACD for their gallery, and now he's here doing the thing. So I don't think we'll be able to track down Cassie at this point. I've had 3 or 4 people recommending Cassie, but I think we interviewed her on our last live stream if they're all talking about this person that was working together with Karen Clark, I believe, on this. So go ahead and check that out.
Well, I was wondering about that. Yeah. Holler if we can.
If you're just tuning in, this is Akichita with Unicorn Riot here at the Roof Depot occupation. A couple blocks away from the Little Earth housing projects. The whole fear here is that the city wants to demolish this site, and in doing so will kick up decades of accumulated pollution, arsenic, a form of pesticides, and their aim is to prevent that, and in the Roof Depot's place erect a sort of urban garden, aquaponics farm, be a more healthier alternative. It is now, I think, 4 degrees out. Yeah, I think we can go down here. Take a little break, see if we can track down Cassie. So yeah, thanks Alex for doing the back end. We'll probably tune in again here in a while. Try to find a spot.